If you want to get more quality dates to find the right girlfriend or wife using Instagram or dating apps or in-person approaches, which are really the only channels that exist, this video is for you. In order for her to show up to the first date or the second or the third, she has to be emotionally engaged towards you. So the more we can increase emotional engagement and buy-in, the higher the probability that she'll show up. Because not all dating app profiles are created equally. Not all Instagrams are created equally. Not all approaches are done equally well and create the same amount of emotional impact, positive hopefully, so that she'll be likely to show up, because she can give you a number and not be convinced that she'll actually show up, or she'll give you the number and know in her heart that she wants to see you. Or she can give you the number by asking for it herself. Do you have Instagram? Or do you have the number? That would sometimes happen. Now, don't rely on that. It is still your job as a man to make that happen. And what I want to talk about right now is the power of Instagram. Do you need Instagram to find the right girlfriend or wife? No, you don't. But it really, really helps. Because if you meet somebody on the dating app, for example, okay? Let's say Tinder. My handwriting is a disaster. Or Bumble. Or Raya. Or The League. Or Hinge. Then you transition the conversation from there to number, and then there's going to be a couple of days in which probably nothing is going to happen in between the texting and the date. So the emotional investment here goes down, it dies down, unless you're extremely good at texting, which you're probably not. You probably suck at texting. Not just because I know you're texting, I obviously don't, but 99% of men really suck at texting. You could have a phone call, but a phone call really only makes sense if it's a week into the future. So what you can do is to just move the conversation to Instagram. And if you have a well-built Instagram, which only takes 12 good pictures, 9 good pictures, good stories, if you build it really well, and it doesn't take that much effort, you can do it in a month or two. It doesn't have to be amazing, but it has to be decent enough. She will see a lot more, let me get a different color, exciting things about you, like, I'm not sure if you can see this, photos, which are, what categories do you need? Professional photography, lifestyle, status enhancing elements, and social brief. If she sees all these things on your Instagram, the probability that she'll show up to the first date is a lot higher. You will, at the minimum, 2 to 3x your results. Minimum. It might even be 10. And it's not about a lot of followers. Trust me, I did this when I have 400 followers on my Instagram, not a million. The women who are hitting on me right now with 1 million followers on Instagram, they're not the ones you want because they're in Lil Wayne's inbox as well, or vice versa. But if you build it well, and it's something we help our clients with in detail, if you want us to help you with that personally, apply for a free consultation call, then she will be so much more excited to show up to the first date and to the dates that come. Fernanda, who I've been together with now for 5 years, we're engaged, she's amazing. She watched my Instagram stories in the beginning, and I had 400 followers. Nothing. But I was posting as if I was the biggest influencer in the whole world. And I wasn't arrogant, and I wasn't doing crazy things, but I was just sharing my lifestyle. Stories are a huge, huge part, I put it here, of Instagram. Because they're only active for 24 hours. And all the women that either come from approaches, or from dating apps, or from Instagram DMs, they go to your Instagram to your stories. They will watch your stories. And in marketing, there's something called the mere exposure effect. If you're in a country you've never been to, and you're in a shop and you want to drink something, you have a bit of a sugar craving, then you're faced with 2 options, perhaps, in this imaginary scenario. There's Schmokamola and Coca-Cola. You are absolutely, bet your bum, gonna go with Coca-Cola just because you're exposed to it and you don't know what this other thing is gonna do to your stomach. You know, it's a bit uncertain, so we're gonna go with what we trust more. So simply by appearing in her consciousness more and more often, She will choose you because remember, she has so many dudes that she would go on dates with right now. From dating apps, personal approach to very little. That's a blue ocean strategy. Most guys don't really approach, or at least not sober and well calibrated, and definitely not during the day. But she has so many options. So she's supposed to choose you over Steven, that she needs to be more emotionally engaged. And there's a couple of levers. And the big one that I'm talking to you about here today is your Instagram. Again, you don't need it. If you have excellent communication styles during your approach, if your dating apps are absolutely on point, if you send them, DMs, cold DMs really only works with Instagram. But these two you can use without Instagram. I've had clients in the 30s, 40s, 50s who found their girlfriend or wife through the program by just using dating apps to go on a number, absolutely. But trust me, Instagram is an absolute game changer. You just post professional photos, lifestyle, status, and social proof, and she'll be so much more excited. It'll boost the excitement and in between dates. Because what if she has to travel for a week or you for a couple of weeks and then you don't see each other? Yeah, you can have phone calls, but if she sees you doing cool things, being with cool people, not pretending to be a player, not posing in front of a fake Gulfstream plane, whatever it is, don't fake anything. But authentically expressing the cool things that you already do, or at least being very witty with your captions so you can make something mundane seem very interesting. Just because of that, you're on her radar. She's like, yeah, of course I'm going to meet this guy again in 2 weeks, even if I was only on a date with him now. It is very, very powerful. And again, don't fake anything. You will never see me fake shit on Instagram. Everything I post is absolutely real. You will never see me for a car or plane that I don't own. You will never see me do anything. Everything you see is authentic and it's real. Because by the way, whenever we talk about lifestyle, this is not about competing with money. It really isn't. It isn't. Because you can't win the money game, because no matter how rich you currently are, you may be doing very well financially, or you may not be doing so well financially. It doesn't matter, because there's always somebody with more. You can only win in your lane, who you are, when you triple down on your weird intricacies and quirks, I believe that's how it's called. You double down on you. You do you, not my style. My mentor, by the way, who was a coach in my program, who I learned everything from, absolute genius. I have the great fortune of being able to coach all of our clients together with him. He has a completely different communication style to me. He's a lot calmer, a lot more stoic, one might say. Completely different, which is amazing. Because, by the way, we just taught a seminar in Miami for 8 clients, which was epic. And the client said it was awesome to have the 2 different styles, me more high energy and him being a lot more calm and reserved, but insanely effective in his interactions with women. So you do your style. Same on Instagram. You do what's authentic to you, but not doing it, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And it is not that difficult. Same with dating, guys. Not that difficult. The skill that I'm approaching a person, not that difficult. But 80% of success in anything is mindset. Whatever reason you have right now that points to some externality, Instagram, the algorithm, the dating apps, the women, where I live, it's all nonsense. You have mindset problems that you need to resolve within yourself. Get some external feedback, doesn't have to be me, but somebody as to why you're not taking action on this. And by the way, you might have the privacy concern. Do I really want to have this private or public? You're in control. You don't ever have to show anything that you don't want to show. You are 100% in control of the photos you post, whether you show your children or not, what exactly you show. I'm hyper aware of what I post. I'm absolutely authentic, but there's a lot of things that I choose to not share because they're private. And you don't have to share anything and never talk about religion or politics or weird subjects. You don't have to do any of that. You can do that in an extremely professional manner. I have clients who run tech companies, who are lawyers, doctors, finance professionals, business owners, men who really have to mind their reputation. And some of them have already had a great Instagram before they came to me, and then we improved it a lot, and some had 0. And we built them a good enough one so that they can start sending cold DMs and get dates just by sending messages, and get dates just from dating apps. I had a client, he's a physician, he lives in Florida, he texted me today that today he woke up with 17 new matches after we improved his profile and he went through some of the components in the course. It's amazing. Now, is your wife, your girlfriend, gonna come from direct messages, apps, or approaches? It doesn't matter, but they all lead to Rome, baby. They all lead to Instagram. Again, you don't have to use Instagram. You can just use texts, but you will lose a lot of options and you will have to be excellent at texting, and all of these has to be even better. But it's possible. You don't need it, but it's a really, really powerful tool. And it doesn't take that much time. Oh, I don't have time. Listen, you have time, right? My clients are busy. They're doing well. I did a 4-hour live call with 10 a week, one of the weekly live coach calls that I did, that we do every week. I did one last Thursday, a couple of days ago. It went for 4 hours. At the beginning of the call, we only had 10 clients. And then we had 6 or 7 by the end. They stayed for 4 hours. It was amazing. We covered everything from online dating, whatever the clients wanted to talk about. And these are guys who are doing well in their career. Some of them software engineers, some of them engineers, some of them business owners, some of them managing directors, really good, kind people. Or one guy, he's 20 in the UK, who's starting with his own business. Also awesome. Point I'm making is, if they find the time, you can find the time. Instagram on a daily, 5 minutes maximum. That's all it takes. If you want to send a couple of messages, make it 10. Dating apps, 15 minutes per day. That socializing, a couple hours a week. Dating, finding the right girlfriend or wife should take no longer than 5 to 10 hours a week. You have 112 waking hours available to yourself every single week. Where are you wasting time? And by the way, I did an analysis with a client of mine in that live call, I believe. He was there. He said, I don't have the time. And in fairness, he does work a lot. But we realized, okay, he worked 55, 60 hours a week in a software engineering job. But he spends 14 hours a week on food. He makes 250, 300 K a year, and he cooks his own food. Level up, bro. Come on. Where are you wasting time? If you actually write down the blocks of time where you're wasting it, you will be shocked as to how much opportunity you actually have to use your time more wisely. Order food. Go to a restaurant. We saved him by analyzing this 15 hours a week. 15 hours a week. And even if he uses half of that to just relax, to have a 45-minute nap per day. By the way, naps can be amazing to boost your productivity. Even if you use half of that chill, half of that for your socializing, fantastic. You have the time. Tony Robbins says, time is emotion. If it's important enough for you, you will make the time. Dedicate a little bit to this, and it will greatly, greatly benefit you. Please trust me. If you want me to help you personally, apply for a free initial consultation call, but please just put the practice I gave you here to practice. Looking forward to speaking with you soon. Take care.